My name is Dr. Justin Alger, and this is the Future College Parent Podcast.
Students that utilize those resources the most are going to be that much more successful upon graduation.
Hello, future college parents, moms, dads, and any family member who's helping a student get to college. Welcome to the Future College Parent Podcast. This podcast is dedicated to arming parents like you, our original influencers, with free information and resources to help the next generation of students prepare, choose, and finance college. And by college, I mean any and all education after high school or equivalent. And by parent, I mean anyone helping a young human through schooling towards college. This show is predicated with the belief that anyone can access and pay for college if they want to, and should start preparing as early as the 6th grade. I am your host, Dr. Justin Alger, but you can call me Justin. That voice you heard over the intro music is the guest of episode 11, Mr. Andy Crawford, Acting Associate Director of Undergraduate and Graduate Admissions Operations at Bentley University. In this episode, we discuss graduate school preparation, choice, and finance. Our focus is on the Master of Business Administration degree, but the discussion is relevant to admission to a variety of graduate programs. Andy really enjoys the work he does, helping students gain admission to graduate programs at Bentley. Now, I mentioned in the episode that the idea of attending graduate school is aspirational for future college parents, and that the episode assumes that students have made it through a traditional undergraduate program and have graduated. Congratulations! The points I want to make are twofold. One, I want to inspire you to not only believe your student can attend a traditional college if they want to, but also can earn a master's degree as well. It's not out of the realm of possibility, I promise you. Second, I hope you see the good work that you're doing to help your student now will be applicable in helping them navigate admissions to graduate school as well. And I hope that you enjoy my interview with Andy. Andy, welcome to the Future College Parent Podcast. Thank you for being here, and thank you for helping future college parents. I really appreciate you being on the Future College Parent Podcast. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, Justin, thanks so much for having me. Happy to be here. I really have a great appreciation for this podcast and topic. I'll say that with my 1-year-old son, I'm thinking about him already in 17 years, and I hope any advice I might give today will hold up. So again, thanks for having me.
Wow, that's really kind of you. And I think I share at the top of the show that students should start preparing as early as the 6th grade. I don't know about a 1-year-old if we need to start worrying about that now, but who knows, maybe. It's the future college parent podcast. Can you start out by sharing your role and describing what capacity you support parents and students in their post-secondary, specifically their graduate education adventures?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started working in graduate enrollment management at the University of New England in Portland, and I largely worked with health professions programs, working with aspiring physician assistants, so PAs and pharmacists, and there's a Doctor of Dental Medicine program, preparing students to go through the application process, managing that application funnel, working with admissions committees on their admission interviews, and working on yield marketing activities to keep people engaged as they're going along in their process, and getting them onboarded and connected with student services and financial aid to prepare for their graduate education. And I've taken that experience and moved on to Bentley University starting in fall 2018, where we support graduate business programs. So I have worked with the MBA population. I've worked with our MS Analytics programs, as well as accounting and finance. There's a great offering of business-oriented programs here at Bentley.
Now, as we discussed, this episode is aspirational for future college parents in that the episode assumes that parents have made it through a traditional undergraduate program and they've graduated. What I think I'd like to do here is walk through the graduate admissions process so future college parents can see the similarities between helping their student prepare for undergraduate admission. And I'd like the interview to flow in the progression of the student experience, starting with preparation, choice, and finance. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's start with graduate school preparation. So your school is a private university focused on business. Now, what type of programs and majors do students enroll in there?
Our foundation program is the Master of Business Administration, and with that we have 7 concentrations that include business analytics, finance, marketing, and data and IT. So if you're really looking for that foundation of general business program knowledge, a macro level of how all the departments work, how to get in a room with the accounting, the finance, the IT professionals to make your business or your department thrive and grow, then the Master of Business Administration is the program for you. Our Career Services Department, again, since everything's geared towards business, they're incredibly helpful with helping students to land internship opportunities, to help forecast what their career might look like out of their degree. Our academic advising team will help to select which concentration or cluster that might suit you based on your interests and goals. So I think one of the great pieces of advice towards applying and then when you're enrolled in graduate school is just to utilize the resources. Contact our admissions office. There might be something on the website that you may have not seen that's available to you in terms of the competitiveness of your application, in terms of scholarship opportunity. And then when you're a student, making sure that you're connecting well with our career development team and our academic advising team. And the students that utilize those resources the most are going to be that much more successful upon graduation.
Just to recap, so the primary major is the MBA or Masters of Business Administration, and then there's several different areas that someone can focus under within the Masters of Business Administration.
Yes, that's right. In accounting and also finance and business analytics. So I'd say that if you really know your specialty and you want to drill down into that specific content, and MS is going to be your best bet. If you want a more broad business understanding and you want a touch point of 4 classes with that complementary skill set that you can get with the concentration, then an MBA will be the program for you. But the MS programs are typically 10 to 11 courses, where the MBA is completed between 12 and 15 courses.
Wow. And I didn't realize that there were so many different options in business, but I guess it makes sense. As you mentioned, there's so many different areas in the business world, accounting and finance and IT. And I wanted to go back to your point about utilizing the services that campuses do have once students do get on campus and they're enrolled in school is very, very important. You talked about career services. You talked about connecting to internships, connecting to future employment and these type of things. So point well taken, that make sure that when you're enrolled in graduate education, that you're taking advantage of those services that the institution provides as well. Now, I'm wondering, what are the pathways that your students take to get to graduate school? Do they come directly from an undergraduate program, or do they go into the workforce for a while and then decide to come back?
Yeah, so I would say that there's no one size fits all with graduate education. If I were to give any advice to parents, for those that are helping their child along with pursuing graduate school, is just to allow your child that space in determining the research and when is the right time for you. I meet all kinds of people that are wide levels of direction in what they want to do. So if I interview somebody for our master's taxation program, some students might be coming from undergrad and they might already have a job offer 2 years out, and they're saying they want to get their master's, or if they're in accounting, they're an accounting major, they might want an MBA or an MSA to work toward their CPA, and that's exactly what they want to do. So I would say for anybody that has that clear-cut direction, go for it. You can continue on in the graduate school. It's going to make you that much more competitive upon graduating to have that graduate credential. And for those that aren't quite sure, there's no harm in taking a couple of years and figuring it out. The timing should be right for you. as an individual. And there's no one size fits all. It's just based on when is going to be the best time for you and the most relevant to apply what you're learning in the classroom to your profession. So you really want to think about the education being applied and the immediate impact that it's going to have on your career.
And now, are admission standards to graduate programs similar to undergraduate programs? For example, are there open enrollment? Are there selective, highly selective graduate programs?
Yeah, there are. And I'd say that Bentley runs similar to undergrad, where it's a competitive institution. And while we're accepting all ages, it does turn out to be a competitive class for admission. And we require the GMAT or GRE. In some of our programs, there are waiver opportunities based on work experience or your GPA requirement, or if you have a professional credential already, like a CPA. So there's ways in which that if you are younger and don't quite have all the work experience, that you can show in your application via those test scores. But it's something that, in a trend that I've seen in connecting with colleagues within the association and other areas I'm involved in, just staying connected to the profession, that more institutions are aiming to a holistic model and making sure that we have an inclusive model and understanding that we are evaluating a lot of people from different areas and with different means and resources. So, and we want to keep that in mind while making sure that we have the most fair and consistent practice as possible. So that definitely comes with challenges, but we all aim to do the best that we can. So I've seen actually a lot of institutions adopt more of a test optional policy between the GMAT and GRE, but it might also depend on what they're requiring for work experience.
And now the GMAT or the GRE, are these entrance exams like the SAT or the ACT for undergraduate?
Yeah, exactly. So the GMAT might be more of your business oriented sort of SAT comparison. So the GRE and GMAT, they both assess your verbal scores, your quantitative scores, and your writing ability, really a standardized test and kind of really the graduate equivalent to an SAT.
How can a student make their graduate application stand out? You mentioned you had work experience, a high GPA, strong test scores.
Yes. Other areas, I'll start with the essays, because the essays are really a critical piece to our review. So we really are looking for people that have that genuine interest in Bentley University. We want to see that you've researched our programs. We want to see that you are well prepared to take on graduate school and have conveyed that in your essay. And we really are looking for you to tell us why you think that Bentley University is the best fit for you. So I can't emphasize enough for those looking into graduate school to research the specific institutions that you're applying to and try to tailor your application towards what we're looking for after you've had that conversation with an admission officer, admissions counselor, and reading up on the website and any informational materials that you might have gathered, and really be mindful of the questions being asked. And I would say for letters of recommendation, you really want to just consider who is going to advocate for you to succeed in the classroom and that you'll be a valuable member of the classroom and community, as I've said. And it might be different from somebody that you're using for a job application. It might not have to be a professional reference. You can still use an academic reference. You can use somebody that you've worked under at your institution or done a volunteer project with or led. If you're in the younger sort of demographic applying to graduate schools, and to just touch base with your recommenders and say this is what Bentley's looking for. So going back to that research that you've already done for your essays, and you can clue in your recommendation writers a little bit on Bentley values career direction on what I want to do in the next year or two. They value that I'm going to be an active participant in the community for the full-time program, and they value that I'm going to network and look forward to connecting with colleagues and utilizing those campus resources and getting in touch with maybe graduate student organizations and things like that. So as much research as you can do and tailor that in your essay, and also cluing in your recommendation writers.
Well, that's good. And not only do you suggest that a student reach out before they apply, but you encourage that. And I think that's fantastic that you have that, or you've made yourself available for students prior to applying to gain admission, so they can do everything that they can to make sure they're telling you what it is that's important to gain admission. And so let's move on to graduate school choice. Now, I know we talked very broadly about why someone would want to decide to go to graduate school, but specifically, why do your students tell you that they have decided to come to graduate school?
One point of wanting to pursue graduate education is that you'll see jobs that are listing Master of Business Administration or another program preferred in the job application. So it's for those that are looking to move up in their career, or they're looking to have the competitive edge when they're entering the workforce. Having that master's degree is going to certainly make you much more competitive as you're looking for the jobs that you desire. Another instance that I hear all the time with people wanting to pursue business programs is maybe they started off in a totally different field and they're coming back 6 or 7, 10, 15 years later, and they're saying, I want to do a career change, and I know I have this idea of what I want to do in this profession, but I want to be more in the business end of it. So in Boston, in the Boston market, naturally, we have a lot of nurses, we have teachers, and so big health, education, technology market. And we see a lot of people in those spaces that, like a technology example would be somebody who's been maybe a data analyst for the last several years, and they're looking to get more of that leadership exposure. So they're looking for their MBA to get those classes and that business understanding, so then that they can facilitate those conversations and sort of move up from the work that they had been doing prior. So we see a lot of career changers and a lot of people that are seeking to move up within their organization.
I mean, that makes perfect sense. Now, you mentioned health professional careers in your area. What types of undergraduate majors do students have before they apply for an MBA program?
Many people will have a business degree that just move forward with the Master of Business Administration, or it's maybe an accounting major or a finance major, or maybe they've gone. Bentley has like an actuarial science, so maybe you've done more of a specialized undergrad and going in for your MBA, or maybe you're a business major and now you want to go towards a more specialized master's degree, like a business analytics, where you've already got that business foundational coursework and now you're going into a specialized subject area. But it's really the same sort of thought is I've seen it as a misconception where people think they might not be competitive for business school. Even if I've seen people that are psychology majors from undergrad, but then they fell into a career where they started in some sort of customer service role, moved into a sales representative, and now they're a regional sales director, but they really want that that formal business education. So it's one of the most interesting things about working with business programs is that we see all kinds of majors coming in. From my experience at the University of New England, it's much more of a path. If you're going to be a physician assistant, there's prerequisite courses that you have to complete as part of your admission requirements. So usually that's outlined well in the before applying stages, is that this is what you need to do to prepare to apply. I can't remember all of the prerequisite courses. It was a long time ago, but each health profession had their own prerequisite courses. I remember the OT program had more of the psychology courses and pharmacy and or I would say dental and PA and pharmacy. They would have much more of the biology, chemistry. I believe all of them, anatomy and physiology 1 and 2. Some would require calculus. So it's all laid out in terms of what you need to have with you when you apply. So we'll see a lot more of the sciences undergrad majors coming into those health professions programs. But we also see somebody that is maybe in their 30s and had a totally different major and has gone back to community college to take those classes. And now they're doing a career transition and they have a lot of great experience too. So I'd say it's never too late to pivot if it's something that you're really wanting to do. One of the best pieces of advice that I got even before I went into admissions, just from a friend a long time ago, was that you're going to be working for, not everyone, but you're likely going to be working for 35, 40 years. So you might as well do something that you love. And if you don't love it, you can change it, and you have that opportunity.
So you don't have a specific major. Students don't have specific or common majors. They come from all different types of majors for your business programs, and it really depends on their background and the direction that they want to head. But maybe in other graduate programs, the undergraduate major might be more important, like in a health profession. Maybe a health profession would want someone who has some sort of background in sciences or biology or those type of things. So that makes a lot of sense to me. And now, finally, I want to talk about how students pay for graduate school. And when I look at the sticker price to attend graduate school, I think, man, didn't we just pay all this money to attend my undergraduate school? Or maybe I'm still paying off my undergraduate education. And I'm wondering now, are the costs similar to undergraduate costs? For example, is there tuition? Are there fees and books and these type of things?
Yes, and it's a great question, and depends on the institution that you're applying to. And there's public institutions, there's private institutions, state institutions. So there's a wide range of tuition and fees, but there's also a wide range of scholarships and opportunities offered. So when you talk about the sticker price, I really like to emphasize to not let the sticker price deter you from reaching out and putting your application through. There's no harm in getting your decision back that you didn't quite get the scholarship that you're looking for. But I can tell you at Bentley University, we're actively awarding merit aid for our MBA program as well as all of our master's programs. And we are active in special scholarship programming. So we have Dean's Leadership Scholarship opportunities for those that are a member of our professional organization. At the undergraduate level, there's a first gen program where we offer state tuition rates for those that qualify. So every school has a different sort of structure in their aid and scholarship and what we can offer, and also what they're looking for in students. So it goes back to the point of just getting in touch with us. Ask for an application fee waiver for your school, put in the research and the work to apply, and see what comes out of it. So I can can say that there's much more to just looking on the website and seeing those tuition costs, because they can be daunting, and we try our best to be as transparent as possible to show those tuition rates, but to also show what we're offering in terms of aid packaging and scholarships.
That's great. So students can get financial aid in graduate school as well. So you talked about scholarships, you talked about grants. I would imagine there are some assistantships that graduate assistantships that might be available, and students can still take out those Stafford loans. And you mentioned specifically some scholarships. And are there? Can you speak a little bit more to some of the scholarships that you provide?
Yeah, so we have merit scholarships that are based on the competitiveness of your application. So our scholarships are at the graduate school are geared towards the competitiveness of your application and not to do with need-based aid. So we offer a range from really 10 to 30% of merit scholarship, and we'll have Dean's Leadership scholarships that are associated again with our professional organization partnerships, and these are more geared to underrepresented populations. So if you're a member of Prispanica, which is the Hispanic MBA Association, or National Black MBA Association, and we have a partnership with those programs and many others, you could qualify for as much as 50 to 100% scholarship. I would say that those might be more limited, but I'd say that there is a active number of students, or we're very active in offering scholarships for those that apply, and really geared towards the fit for our institution and how we're evaluating your application and seeing how you'll add value to the program that you're looking to attend to. I'd say that for international students, while there's no federal aid packaging, we have partnerships with Paris Education. A lot of students use Empower, which is loan service providers for international students that don't require a co-signer. So these are examples of things that people might not know about, that we try to convey on our website and lead you to some of these aspects of applying to our program. But we can give you the best advice on what we're looking for and what you might qualify for. And even if it's in terms of saving money on opting in for a test versus do I qualify for a waiver based on my professional experience. So we're always happy to have those kinds of conversations. And at the undergraduate level at Bentley, I'd say it would be the same thing in terms of offering scholarship based on your competitiveness. And there's a little bit more towards financial need and assessment for aid packaging and scholarship on the undergrad. I'd say for graduate level, it's really on the scholarship and about your ability to do well in our program.
And it starts again by making sure that that students are doing good work in their undergraduate experiences and really doing everything that they can to strengthen that application. But also back to your point about asking the question, because if I just look at the website and I don't explore further, I'm going to end up paying a whole bunch more money than if I just raised my hand and asked the question. How is it that I can, or what other types of opportunities do you provide to students to help them afford to pay for graduate education? So I think that's great. So that's all the content questions that I have. But I think that we will stop there with my questions. I really want to thank you for coming on the show and appreciate you sharing the work that you're doing to help students and helping inspire future college parents to become future college graduate student parents. And that's the follow-up to the show. But I really appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me again, and to families out there looking towards next steps for preparing for college. Best of luck to you, and hope everything goes well.
Whoa, I did not realize there are so many paths a student can take to get to graduate school. Andy is so thorough and polished. It's nice to see how passionate he is about helping students at this level. And there is so much that Andy and I discussed in this episode, and I want to share with you 5 things I learned from my talk with Andy. Number 1, utilize campus resources prior to applying for graduate admissions. You can contact admissions professionals to see what is available in terms of application opportunities, competitiveness of applying, and available scholarship opportunities. Number 2, allow your student space to determine when the right time is to attend graduate school. Timing should be right for your student and relevant to their career goals. Number 3, graduate schools can have standardized entrance exams just as undergraduate institutions do, like the SAT or ACT. MBA programs, for example, might require the Graduate Management Admission, or the GMAT, or the Graduate Record Examination, the GRE, to be taken as a part of the application process. Number 4, make your graduate school application stand out. Tailor your application essay, interviews, and letters of recommendation towards the school and the program's values and goals, which you've already obtained from that conversations with admissions professionals or even program faculty. This will convey the why you should be admitted by demonstrating your investment in the school and the program. Number 5, ways to pay. The sticker price shouldn't sway you from reaching out and applying to graduate school. Graduate programs also offer financial aid in the form of grants, scholarships, assistantships, and loans. Reach out to the school's financial aid professionals to see what types of opportunities they have and can recommend for you based on your situation. Also, don't be afraid to ask for an application fee waiver. What did you learn? Here's your homework. No, there are no homework waivers. Please head to futurecollegeparent.com where you can access the Future College Parent Network and post what you learned by listening to this episode and engage with other listeners so we can learn together. Also at futurecollegeparent.com, you can access the show notes for a wealth of information on the items we discussed during the episode and check out all of our social platforms. Hey, while you're at it, please share the podcast widely with other parents, leaders of activities your student is involved in, and your school's administrators so they can share with your school district. You can also let parents know the show is streaming directly from the website and there's no need to download anything. Just point your browser to futurecollegeparent.com and enjoy. The show is also on your favorite podcast platforms as well. I want to thank Andy for coming on the show. Be on the lookout for a new episode on Wednesday, July 13th and continuing Wednesdays every 2 weeks after. Thanks for listening to the Future College Parent Podcast.